The main reason why I am here is because our family have a lot of debt and I have to earn as much as possible. If one machine stops, all production will stop. We are the toughest one doing the same thing every day. It's really a heavy job for a girl. We have a curfew. It's like everything everywhere all at once. At least we're in Japan.
Welcome to Unpacking Japan. I'm Toby, and today we welcome Janna Lu from
Janna Lu.
Japan Diaries.
Janna Japan Diaries.
Where you showcase your story, your life in Nagano, where you work as a machinist in a factory.
Yeah.
Which is really cool and very unique. So we want to talk about your experience here a little bit, but before that, as I ask everyone that comes here, I want to know what brought you to Japan?
Actually, in the Philippines, we have that so-called Japan dream. It's like American dream, but Japan is like America of Asia. That's why we also have that Japan dream. And we all know that Philippines is third world country and Japan is a first world country. That's why it's a dream for us. The main reason why I am here is because our family have a lot of debt and I have to earn as much as possible. And Japan opened the doors and then I took the chance.
Cool. Did you have this dream of coming to Japan when you were younger already? Or was it like, okay, I want to take this chance like as a career?
I had a dream, but I never imagined that it would be that fast. Because we all know that Japan is like strict in terms of papers, the
like visa rules and everything.
Yeah. At first, we have a neighbor also working here in Japan, and then my mom asked his mother how did he came here in Japan, and then he said that you can come here through Study Now Pay Later program in the Philippines. We have that, but in the other agencies it's all free. Japanese company paid the agencies to make the people or the students study Nihongo and then study skills. And then when they finish or pass the exam, Japanese company will choose to that students.
Cool.
Yeah.
So the first program that your neighbor did was sort of you go study in Japan, you don't pay, and when you start working, you pay back.
Yeah.
And the second program, you basically is sponsored by the Japanese government and you learn Japanese and then the companies will just hire you because they want.
It is supposed to be Japanese company will pay all, but that specific school, it's Study Now Pay Later. I don't know. I don't know why, but that school I entered, it's just like that.
Cool.
Study Now
So
Pay
you
Later.
started studying Japanese back in the Philippines.
Yeah.
And at some point you were like, okay, now I have to follow this dream. I need to go to Japan.
Yeah. 6 months learning Nihongo, N5 and N4 basic Nihongo. And then after that, if we pass the exam, we can proceed to the skills. At first, when we do the initial interview, we have to pick top three skills we want to do here in Japan or we want to work. And then at first, I want to be a painter.
Cool.
but suddenly it's a job for man only, so it's
Really?
not a choice for me.
You cannot be a painter as a woman.
Yeah, I can be back, but the chances of getting hired is low. That's why it's not an option for me.
Okay.
And then I heard the word machining. It sounds cool to me. That's why I chose machining as my first choice.
Okay.
I don't even know
What machine?
No. I don't even know what it is. It just sounds cool to me. That's why I chose machining. And then my second one is electronics. And then third is anything. Anything they can offer me. And then I was chosen to be a machining student. That's how it started.
Is it this technical training visa that you then got?
Technical intern training program. The
So
ATP.
You apply for this, you get this visa to learn one of your three choices. So you got your first choice, machinist.
Machining. I was choosing. I don't know why. I don't have any experience, but for that 1 year, 6 months is skill, and then 6 months Nihongo. Nihongo first and then skills.
So 6 months Japanese in the Philippines. Then you come to Japan, 6 months Japanese.
No. In the Philippines.
All in the Philippines.
All
so.
in the Philippines. We also have NC2. You know what NC2 is? National Certificate 2.
Okay.
It's like international certificate we have to pass. We did what do you call that? Bolt and nuts. It's like this big. Bolt and nuts, we do it by raw steel. We do it by lathe machine ourselves.
Wow.
Yeah, so if we don't do that, we don't get the certificate.
So you get the actual thing and you need to do this fast in a specific time in a specific way.
Yeah. We learned from basic up to that point. It's so hard.
And you pass the test and then you get to go to Japan.
Yeah.
So do you get to choose where you go? And
No.
Japanese
company will choose us.
Okay.
It's like a pageant.
A pageant?
Yeah, it's like a pageant for me because students with higher grades or higher grades in skills and Nihongo will have a higher chance to be picked up by the Japanese company.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like that.
Very tough. Tough competition.
Yeah.
And then the company picked you and sent you to Nagano.
Some companies will come to our school and then pick 10 students and then they interview. And then if they pass, okay, they will go to Japan. And some, if they're not passed, they will study until they pass the exams or the interview from the Japanese.
Can you tell me about the company that picked you?
In case of our company, we don't know why they chose us because they just pick 4. They do not do interview for us. They just pick our names and then okay, you'll be in this company. We don't know why, but it really depends on Japanese companies.
So how did you feel the day you received this kind of letter and someone told you, all right, you got hired by this company and you're going to Nagano?
It's like one of the happiest moment of our lives because it's really tough there. We came to the dorm. It's stay in for that 1 year. Every weekend, we got to go out. We have a form. We have a curfew. If we don't come back with that curfew, batsu.
You're gone.
You're gone. Gone.
That's very strict.
You have warning 3 times. If you have exceed that warning, batsu, go home.
So going through these schools is not an easy job.
It's not an easy
job. And then when you finally get this letter, it's like, yes, I made it.
Yeah, you have to be good for that period of time. So hard.
Once you heard you are going to Nagano, did you know anything about Nagano and where it was and where you're going?
We look up through the internet and then we saw that there is snow. That's why we're happy. Philippines. In the Philippines, you don't have snow.
No
that's
snow.
why. And then when we search up and there is snow, we were so glad.
Great, snow. Let's go. And
then when we came there in Nagano, it was so quiet. It was so quiet. We didn't expect. Yeah. We have no choice because it's our choice. It's our will to work here. That's the only way, and that company chose us. But we're still thankful. At least we're in Japan.
At least you're in Japan. Tell me about the beginning, right? You had this Japan dream. You went through this very difficult school. You arrive in Japan. What was your first impression? How was it like to adapt to life here in Japan? Finally being here.
My first impression when we got in Haneda Airport, honestly, when I saw the Japanese people, wow, they are all good looking. They have all the young looking skin. They are all look artista, celebrity. In my eyes, at least for me. They look so good and they are so aesthetic. And then when we stayed in Chiba, Tokyo for a month. We studied there still language and then the culture. And then after a month, we are deployed in our company.
So then it's time to work.
Yeah. When we got in Nagano, at least 2 days, we stayed in our apartment to settle down and then work.
Work.
Yeah. Training for 3 months and then work by ourselves already.
Do you remember your first day at work?
First day at work? It's so sad.
So sad.
It's so tough because we have to learn, we have to understand Nihongo, we have to Nihongo and machining. Machining by itself is so hard. Studying machining in Nihongo times 10.
Times 10.
Yeah.
So tell me about just machining. What exactly is your job in this factory that you work on? What do you do?
My machine is lathe machine. Do you know what lathe machine
you'll have
is?
to run me through this.
Lathe machine is like a machine that cut a raw steel from raw and then into specific measurements, into specific deepness, into specific everything. You have to be specific by measurements when it comes to machining. And for me, I'm not good in math. Honestly, I'm not good in math. That's why I was shocked. But I also challenged myself. And then I am here now.
So it's like, if I imagine this, right? You have a big block of raw steel.
Yeah.
And you get this machine that
it can be small, it can be big.
Okay. And what is the steel used for?
Our company specifically makes bearing.
Okay.
Bearing for cars, for everything.
So like
actually,
car
maybe
parts.
your cars, I do the bearing of your cars, maybe.
So I don't have a car yet, but maybe when I
Maybe.
get the chance to have a car here, I'll think about, maybe in this car there's a
Really?
bearing made by
Yeah.
Janna.
In our, what do you call that? In our model, we do Yamaha bearing to ka different Suzuki to ka Mitsubishi no bearings. Different bearings we supply to the other companies.
So what is a typical day for you? You get to work. How is the process?
Our schedule is every other week. It's like hirokin to yakin.
So day shift and night shift.
Day shift and night shift. Every week we have a long weekend if we had it from day shift to night shift. Vice versa. If night shift to day shift, our weekend is so tight.
Short. No time to adjust again.
No time. Every day, if our what do you call that? If our production is on track, we came to the company around 8 a.m. and then we do the morning assembly. In morning assembly, we do what are the do's and don'ts by the leaders, by the hancho, by the kakaricho. They always remind us about the safety precautions, what to do in our production. Are we late? Are we on time? And then it's around 10 to 15 minutes every morning. And then after that, we're on our own line. My line is 2 lines. A-ring and B-ring. A-ring is the inner ring of the bearing. And then B-ring is A-ring is the outer. And then B-ring is the inner ring. And then A-ring have 5 process. And then B-ring has 6 process. If one machine stops, all production will stop.
Wow.
Yeah. For my line. That's why our main goal for the day is to make the machine run throughout the day. We fix the machine. We measure the bearings. We input everything measurements, and we keep running the machine. That's why it's really a heavy job for a girl.
I can imagine. And it's probably, is it like a big machine to operate? What does it look like?
It's a big machine.
Is it like something like this microphone arm and it just like cuts through the steel, or?
It's like a one part of the machine.
Okay.
It's like a unloader of the workpiece.
Oh.
It's like around this height. If you are short, you will be given a platform.
So you stand on your little platform and you kind of up and down.
It's really dangerous. It's really dangerous. Last week they have an accident.
Oh no.
Yeah. It's really dangerous for men and women if you don't have that rules in your mind, because you're always doing the same thing every day. You have to keep in mind the rules. So if you don't think that, you will be in danger.
And then every morning they tell you the rules, but then they also tell you have to be fast, right? You have to not stop the production. You have to keep going.
Yes. Every 300 pieces, we have to measure the bearing. And
make sure it's still the right size.
Yeah. And the tolerance is like, it really depends on the part of your measuring. Sometimes it's like 0.02 to 0.05 millimeters. And then sometimes it's like 0.1 to 0.5 millimeters. If it's not within that tolerance, dame. You have to redo. So that's why it's like everything everywhere all at once. Yeah.
That sounds exhausting. How many hours do you have to stand to make the process? And
8 hours to 11. If we are on track, it's only 8 hours. But if we have overtime, 2 to 3 hours overtime. Wow. It's really tiring.
And just the machines don't stop, and you're standing and you're just next.
And the parts are heavy. The parts are heavy. Sometimes if there's a problem, the first aid is us. We have to fix the machine as long as we can. But if there is a complicated problem of the machine, we call the hancho, the leader, and the cacho. If they can't fix it, they call the engineers. That's the process.
Okay. So how long have you been doing this now?
Next month, it will be 6 years.
6 years. 6 years. You're a pro now. You must know the machine better than the engineer.
No. It's very complicated.
When you came there, you said you were 4 that were chosen. So you arrived with a group of 4 Filipino friends. Yeah. Are you still all working together at this factory?
We are only 3 now on our batch, but we also have dai senpais. But they are all gone. They all tenshokshti mashita toka Philippine kai rimashita.
They either went back to the Philippines or found another job.
Shimashita toka. And then we only have 3. The toughest one.
The toughest one stayed there.
Yeah, we are the toughest one. I can say that.
How do you keep this kind of connection with the Philippines when you're working in this factory? How is it like? Because you're 3 Filipino and then the rest are all Japanese, I imagine, right?
Yeah. At first, we all 4 live in the same apartment. It's tiny, but it's fun because we are the family. We are family. We consider ourselves as family already because we don't have any relatives here in Japan. We can understand each other, work, culture, and then now I also have Pinoy vloggers community. I am one of them, and last month we celebrated 1-year anniversary.
Nice.
Yeah.
We're gonna talk about that in just a minute because we found you thanks to the content you share on TikTok, on your platform where you showcase your life in Japan, showcase your work as a machinist. But I was wondering, in terms of working together with the Japanese, what was it like from a cultural perspective? So the job itself is tough.
Yeah.
How was it like to adapt culturally to this different work environment?
Excuse me. It's really a challenge for us because some of the Japanese have like language barriers. They don't even adjust their hatsuon or their pronunciation just because you're a foreigner. It's sometimes Japanese people think that you are gaijin.
Foreigner.
You are foreigner. You are from the outside, so you have to adjust to their language. Sometimes it just left me a blank face, and then I just rely on my instinct and to their body language if
You don't understand what they're saying. They speak a very strong dialect in Nagano.
Futsu desu kedo, old people.
Oh, they don't pronounce so well. It's like a bit not showing like this.
They're like eating their words, and then they don't care if I understand or not. Sometimes I just call my other Japanese friends, not Japanese hancho that are close to me, and then I ask.
What did he say? What did the old man say?
Yeah. Especially in our job, we don't have to do anything that is not said to us or not instruct to us. So that's why if I don't understand something, I ask my close Japanese hancho.
Because you need to understand, right? Because you
Yeah,
need to follow
I have
instructions
to.
that you get.
Yeah. It's not like hype for everything because it's really dangerous job.
Have you been able to make connections with them outside of work and kind of show your culture and exchange a little bit with colleagues a little outside, going to izakaya
It's
or...
really hard for Japanese people are too reserved, right? Even if sometimes in your job, in your workplace, they are nice, but when outside, it's like, you know what, the tataymae.
Tatemae, so
And
how they are in front of you
so-
and how
so-
they are when you're not there, right?
Sometimes it's like last week we laugh, and then we talk, and then the next week, it seems like he doesn't know me anymore. It's like that.
That's different.
Yeah.
Wow.
There are times, but I also have Japanese friends in our company that are pure Japanese. It's like 1 or 2 or 3 only. But others are foreigners. Half Japanese, half Brazilian, half...
Okay.
Yeah. Hafu.
Half. So you have a little bit of a community.
Yeah. I have in my blogs, nanay wa mama. Nanay, I call her nanay because he's so nice to me. He give me foods. She's half Japanese, half Brazilian. She give me food. She give me everything I need.
She's the older sister.
Yeah. She's so kind.
How, now looking back at your 6 years of experience, how is it today when compared to when you arrived and you first started? You had your expectations coming in, and now you've been doing this tough job for 6 years. What have you learned? What do you feel like?
It's like I'm grateful for everything because I needed money, and now I can say that I can supply for my family. It's like a Filipino thing that helps our family, always helping supply everything.
Everyone takes care of each other.
So. It's like family oriented. I am grateful for my job. Because of my job, I can do that. But in terms of my body or my choshi,
Your physical condition.
Yeah, my physical condition for that job, it's really a hard job for a girl, for a woman to do. Actually, in our company, Filipinos only are the girls, and then another one Chinese girl, and then the rest are men.
Wow.
For an operator or machinist. Because it's really heavy. That's why it's really a tough job.
I'm curious about, you had a specific training to become a machinist.
Yeah.
Now you are a machinist at
Yeah.
this factory making bearings. Is there a possibility for you to kind of grow and change positions in this company and maybe take on other responsibilities that are not so physical?
In our company, I think it's impossible because if the next position in our machinist is the setter. The setter is like, we studied setting the machines in the Philippines way back. We studied all that. But in terms of strength, it should be really a man. Because The parts of the machines are like 20 kilos.
20 kilo, wow.
It's like the machine have the cover and then you what do you
Have to
call it?
lift up the cover
Have to
and
lift
move
that
it.
with the cover and then it's so tough. Even if our mind can understand everything, our body cannot comprehend.
Like follow
Yeah,
with
yeah. It's
conditions.
really heavy. And then it's also have actually machining is connected with engineering. So it's really a tough, complicated job. That's why for us trainee or technical intern, I am now skilled worker visa.
So you changed the visa status
yeah,
after.
yeah.
After how long can you change that from technical intern visa?
Some companies, after 3 years, they upgrade the visa. But before, it can be up to 5 years. Our company do 5 years. And then after 5 years, specified skilled working visa. Yeah.
Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Throughout those 6 years,
Yeah.
you started making content
Yeah.
on TikTok. How did that start? Why did you start making content?
Actually, I really have that dream. I wanted to be a content creator in YouTube. Way back 2019, 2020. I don't have a nice phone. I don't know what to edit. I don't know how to edit. I don't know how to speak in front of the camera. I'm really shy, but I want to earn money. Because YouTube, you can earn money, right?
Yes.
It's a passive income. That's my thinking before.
Smart thinking, business thinking.
Yeah, that's my thinking before. But it didn't work. Maybe because I am after the money, or honestly speaking, because I am after the money. I don't have the passion. I just want an income. And then it didn't work. And then I realized that I have to quit. And then I do my daily job. I forget all about that. 2019, 2020, and then TikTok came. But still, I really passionate of taking videos, something interesting. I have a lot of videos on my phone. That's why when TikTok came, I just upload whatever I want. That's the platform for me, I think.
So it was a good match.
Yeah.
You like to make videos and you just started to share.
Yeah.
Not caring about
No,
what you share and who you share. So
Yeah,
I want to
yeah.
put my videos here.
Yeah. TikTok for me started October 2022.
That's not so long ago. Two years ago, nearly. Yeah.
A year?
And, yeah, a year and a half, right?
Yeah, a year and a half. It is because I went to the grocery. It's October, that's why surroundings are...
Very beautiful.
Yeah.
Momiji and orange color.
Yeah. It's like around between summer and Momiji.
Oh, just before the Momiji.
Yeah, October. And then I went to the grocery. When I bike home, I stopped. Sabi ko, I told myself, this has to be seen by everyone, by my family. By my first goal is my family to be seen. So I uploaded it. I didn't speak anything, just a raw video while biking. It's not allowed, but I'm not on the highway. That's why I'm biking while taking videos. And then my groceries on my basket. I just bike up onto my house. And then it blew up. 3
I've seen
million.
that video.
Yeah.
3 million views.
Yeah. Almost 4 million, I think. That
Just a bike in the
started.
countryside.
Yeah. And then I captioned it, this place is perfect for introverted people. And then a lot of Filipinos view it. And then 3 million. That's how it started. And then I realized, I can be a content creator. I think. And then I took the chance. I have a lot of backlogs in my phone because...
You film everything?
Yeah, I film everything. And then it... Diretso. What do you call that?
So one thing led to another.
Yeah.
And you
That's
start
it.
filming and you start posting. Do you have anything specific that you post, or do you just share your life?
Just sharing. Just random stuff about Japan, myself, my job. That's it.
So
My travel.
You travel.
Sometimes.
You live in Nagano, and you said earlier when you arrived, well, when you were going, you were like, oh, there's snow, perfect, let's go. And when you arrived, you're like, oh, it's very quiet. What's it like living in Nagano now? You've been there for 6 years and you're filming all around it.
I love it in a way. I also love Tokyo. Maybe because of my fiancé lives there. I love both. I love the tranquility. Well, tranquility.
Nice.
Tranquility of Nagano. People come in Nagano to see those beautiful mountain ranges. And I get to see that every day. That's why I'm so thankful.
I'm very lucky. I'm envious. We just see a building range in Osaka. Just gray buildings everywhere.
Yeah. There are a lots of snow in Nagano, but I love it as a Filipino.
Is it not too much of a change from a warm, hot country with beaches to go into the mountains where it's cold?
No, because I also live in province in the Philippines. But the difference is, in the Philippines, if I don't own a car, I can just call tricycle or jeep for a cheap fare, and I can go wherever I want.
Jeep are these buses, right? These sort of
mini buses. Wherever I go, I can go for a cheap price. But in Nagano, it's a countryside, right? That's why if you don't have a car, it will be hard for you to go anywhere you like. It's limited for us because we only have bicycles. A lot of walking.
A lot of cycling.
Walking. Yeah.
Up and down the hills.
Yeah. If we go to our company, it's like 5 to 8 minutes. Zutto agatteru.
All the way up.
All the way up. But when we go home, it's like
all the way
2
down.
minutes, 2 minutes only.
For me, it's the opposite now. On the way to work, I go down. And on the way back, when the day is finished and I just want to sit on my sofa,
it's hard.
I have to go all the way up.
It's hard, right?
Yeah.
It's like that every day. I get used to it. Yeah. It's like beginning of the work, you warm up. And then work, 8 hours to 11 hours.
And then relax. Calm down. One of the content you share is about bread.
Yeah.
I want to hear about this. Why do you post so many videos about Japanese bread?
No, because our shift is every other week, right? Every night shift, our workers have one bread and one drink. But if there's a lot, nokoshita, leftovers, you can get how many
you want.
Yeah, how many we want, you can get. And then I love watching videos of Kit, Kit, TikTok, food critic. And I'm inspired to that. And then I thought that if I compile it every week, I get 5 breads, right? And then I rate it with Filipino humor. Filipino people love it because I think the way I describe the bread, it's like no filter. It's like I'm describing the bread through its physical outside, what do you call that? Appearance. And then the taste. Sometimes it's brutal in the Filipino words. That's why they find
tough bread.
Yeah. They find it funny, I think. Actually, I have a lot of views with that. Really. Sometimes it 1,000,000, 500,000. And then I continue it.
Now I wish I would understand Tagalog so I can know what you're saying about all this bread. But my next question is going to be, you've tasted, I don't know, hundreds of breads. Is there a best bread in Japan? Which bread should I try when I go to the konbini next?
I think I'm a croissant girl.
A croissant girl. You're telling this to someone who grew up in France. Are you saying...
No, it's different, right? But for a Filipino taste buds, for a Filipino like me, croissant here is good.
What is good about it?
It's like plain and... It's hard to explain in English.
Do it in Tagalog. Do us a bread review in Tagalog.
Simple kasi siya. Tapos, may laban. You know what laban?
I don't know laban.
It's like fight it in your taste buds.
Okay, it makes everything alive.
Yeah. For me, at least for me. That's why I'm telling all my followers to
All right.
taste it also.
Next time I go to the convenience and try the croissant,
I also
I'll
love the
think
cheese
about
bread.
your cheese bread.
Cheese bun from 7-Eleven. 7-Eleven cheese buns are a lot tastier than Family Mart cheese buns.
All right. Inside tip, everyone. 7-Eleven cheese buns.
Yeah.
Which one is the best convenient general for bread?
Same.
Same. All same, more or less.
Yeah. But mostly for our company, 7-Eleven, Kara.
So the company gets from 7-Eleven.
Mostly.
This is also content you started making more recently, right? You started sharing your life at the factory, and you started sharing your routine, the night shift, life in Nagano. What was the response from the Filipino community towards this kind of content? Do you see a lot of people that are interested now in coming to Japan and do something like you?
A lot of Filipinos actually asking me how to apply. Really direct message to me, how to apply, what are the requirements, but I can answer all of that. So I also do a video referring to the agencies, what are my recommended agencies, because some of the agencies also do not study now, pay later, all free. There are agencies like that in the Philippines because Japanese companies will pay. That's why I pinned one of my videos on my TikTok telling all my followers that these are some of the agencies I know that can what do you call that?
Apply for.
Yeah.
Is it still the same Japan dream that they have today than you had when you were a little bit younger? Has it changed a little bit?
I think it has changed because the price of yen converted in the Philippines is now too low. That's why some of the content creators also telling all their followers that I don't know if it's a dream anymore or you have to go to other countries to have a higher paying job because of the yen and peso. It's too low. But for me, I still say that it's still worth it to work here because the quality of life you'll get here. Unlike in the Philippines, my basic salary was sang-mang yong-mang only for a month.
So that's like $200 per month in the Philippines.
Yeah. It really can't sustain a family. But here in Japan, even if you work as factory worker, a normal job, you can still eat steak whenever you want, right? In the Philippines, we cannot do that. That's why I can say it's still worth it.
So even though maybe the perception changed a little bit because the conversion rate is not as attractive, for you the dream is still kind of, it makes sense to stay here in Japan.
Yeah. The lifestyle here, I like the lifestyle here. I can live here.
Yeah.
But as a Filipino with the close family ties, the sacrifice,
Difficult.
I still want to be with my mom, my family, my relatives. But I can still come here because my fiancé is still here.
He's also working here in Japan?
Yeah. He's also a trainee before and now he's a working visa.
Nice. So you're planning to move to Tokyo in the future and stay with your fiancé, or you want to stay at the factory in the countryside?
I really don't know yet, but I'm not closing the doors. But for now, since I already told you, I will be in the Philippines soon. Yeah.
For a little break and a little holiday.
Yeah, I want to spend Christmas with my family. Christmas and New Year.
Christmas and New Year is still far away. We're recording this now for our listeners at the end of April, so we still have quite a few months.
Yeah.
But it's exciting, right?
Yeah, it's
How long
exciting.
have you not been back to the Philippines?
I only went back in the Philippines 2 years ago. It's like for almost 2 months only. For arranging documents because of the technical intern visa change. So that's why we have to go back in the Philippines.
Okay, so you can't change the visa status while staying in Japan. You had to go back home and do a
Yeah.
new
There's a
kind of
requirement
visa
like that.
application.
Yeah. And then we come back here and then another 3 years.
So now you have a 3-year visa, you have a stable job, and you have your platform with a big audience. You have 270,000 followers that follow your bread content, your machinist content. What would you like to do now if you look forward to the next few months and years?
I think machining is a chapter in my life. And I am very grateful that I experienced it in Japan. I experienced the culture of Japan. But for now, I think I will lay low and take a break in the Philippines and do some contents by myself, by a story of my life, like what will be my life with King Kong, my fiancé. I call him King Kong.
What a nice nickname. I hope he doesn't mind being called King Kong on the podcast.
He likes it.
He likes it.
Because King Kong for him, it's like a manly provider, protector. That's why he loves to call King Kong. And most of my followers call him also King Kong.
So you have a real community of Filipinos. And you were mentioning you were also working with some other Pinoy vloggers, other Filipinos in Japan.
Yeah, throughout Japan. Last month we had our Pinoy vloggers in Japan. They call it PVJ. Pinoy vloggers in Japan anniversary. With the same hobby, vlogging, content creation. Some of them are coming here from Osaka. They visit Tokyo sometimes to do contents. That's how our community.
When you talk about all of their experiences, when you talk with each other, do most of them come on this technical intern visa? What are their paths? Is it a similar path to Japan for Filipinos?
It's different. Some of them are teachers. What do you call that? The assistant.
ALT?
Yeah,
Assistant
ALT.
language teacher?
Some are ALT, some are nurse, some are technical inter-trainee, some are, they have families here, different
walks of life. Everyone different.
Yeah. All Filipinos.
All Filipinos, and then all together too.
Yeah,
to
we celebrate. Sometimes we celebrate Christmas together. We also had year-end party. We also had Filipino Expo.
Expo?
Yeah. It will have again June.
June? Where?
June. Tokyo, I think.
Tokyo. Why Tokyo?
Filipino.
Osaka is a nice city.
Actually, there are two. Filipino Expo and Philippine Fest. Every year, there are two Filipino communities doing that.
So if we have a few people listening to this, Japanese people, foreigners that are in Japan and so on, what would you like them to know about Filipino culture? Something they should know about, or some food they should try maybe, because you know a lot about food.
Filipino people are one of the most resilient, I think, and can do whatever job you can offer.
Like a machinist.
Yeah. And then the most friendly people, I think, so far. And for the food, everything is worth to try, I think, right?
Yes,
The
I went there. Very
the
good.
sisig and
lechon. Halo.
Yeah, halo.
Fresh seafood.
Yeah, if you have a Filipino friend, you always laugh. You will always laugh and enjoy the moment. And it's always loud also.
How does that work with Japanese culture? You have the very cheerful and loud Filipino community and the relatively quiet, more reserved Japanese community.
Sometimes my nanay, the half Japanese, half Brazilian co-worker, my nanay asked me if I am also friend with them, with this, with that. I always told her, yes, I am friends with everyone. She always, really? Honto desu ka? She's always shocked with that. But for us Filipino, it's normal. Everyone for us is a friend. Yeah.
That's a good way to approach it. Everyone was a smile. If someone has been listening to this, and maybe some of your followers are listening to our conversation, what would you like them to know about your experience in Japan, about coming to Japan, about what to prepare for?
I want to tell my followers that Japan is really the dream to experience. And it's also different for a tourist and living here. It's a different experience. But if you're strong enough and brave enough, you can live here. Like me, I already want to live here, I think. For now, I can say that I had a nice and grateful moments here in Japan, and I really enjoyed Japan. I will miss Japan.
You'll miss Japan, but you'll be back.
Yeah.
Yes. Are you stopping your job for now, or are you just taking a break?
I will stop the job for now. Maybe if I come back here, it's a different field, I think.
Try something new.
I will try something new. I will try something girly.
Less machines.
Less manly job.
So machinist sounded very cool at the beginning.
Yeah, it's really cool at the beginning.
But
it's really hard.
The chapter is over.
Yeah, the chapter is over.
Do you have in mind? Do you know something you'd like to try here in Japan? Something that's more girly?
I haven't decided yet, but anything will do. Unless anything will do, but not as machinist again.
No more machines.
Yeah.
Thank you, Janna, for sharing your story.
Thank you so much for having me here.
Is there anything else that maybe we didn't talk about? We talked a bit about your, work experience, your journey to Japan, your content creation. Is there one last thing that we haven't covered, that I haven't asked, that you would have liked to share here today?
I think many of them are asking if I experience a relationship with Japanese. But
that's a common question you get.
Yeah, a common question I read in the comment section.
A very private question.
Yeah, but I think
you don't need to answer this here if you don't want to.
Yeah. But for me, it's really up to them. It's really up to them if they want to experience different culture. I respect Japanese culture. I respect Filipino culture. But for me, I like Filipino. I like King Kong.
You like your fiancé.
Yeah, for me.
You already made your choice.
Yeah, I already made a choice. That's it.
All right. So for all of your listeners, your followers that have heard this now, they don't need to ask anymore. Thank
it's really
you,
up
Janna,
to them.
for coming all the way to Osaka from
Thank
Nagano,
you so
leaving your
much.
mountains to come to the big city.
Thank you so much for this experience. This is my first time here in Osaka, and it's really a pleasure to meet you, Henry
Cavill, just behind
Henry
the camera.
Cavill and Toby.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you so much. Before I go home in the Philippines.
You were very nervous at the beginning.
Yeah.
And you were
so
scared
sorry.
to start the cameras, but you did wonderful.
I'm so sorry for that. Thank you so
great.
much.
Thank you everyone for listening and watching. This was Unpacking Japan, and we will be back next week. Bye.
Thank you so much.
Are you looking for another podcast episode to listen to next? If you like the one you just listened to, I'm sure you'll also enjoy the one that I've selected and linked in the description down below. Go check it out.